Hey everyone, what's up? My name is Stephanie Liu, and welcome to the brand new show, Digital Confetti, where you learn share-worthy strategies so that way you can create content and sprinkle it all across the internet. So hey everyone, I'm Stephanie Liu, and welcome. Happy Friday to you, friends. Now, this show is really dedicated for content creators, for live streamers, and for marketers that want to get extra mileage with their content. So if you're here, let me know where you're tuning in from. I'm here in beautiful, sunny San Diego. Let me know where you're tuning in from so that way I could get to know you, because we are leveraging Restream to go live on multiple platforms. So we're live on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, all the places. Yes. So happy to have you here. Shout out to the crew, Tim Sohn, being in the house bright and early on a Friday. Absolutely appreciate you, friend. Thank you. Yes, new show. And here's the fun part about this show is that the show is really dedicated to teach you strategies, right? Strategies that way you can make your content be found everywhere. Because here's the thing, is that when you do a live stream, friends, you don't just go live and then let it just sit on the digital shelf. No, you take it off the shelf and it's like you kind of put it in a piñata and you break it into little tiny pieces. That way everyone can get a sample of who you are. Because once they discover you and all the amazing things that you can do, that digital confetti is going to lead them back to the rest of your show. That way you can increase your viewership, right? Grow your email list, do whatever it is that you want to do in order to keep your show top of mind and tip of tongue. So thank you, Tim, so much for being here. Wonderful to have you here. Don McCoy, yay! 2 in a row, right? Absolutely amazing. All right, friends. So here's the idea behind digital confetti. It's like this. Look, we spend a lot of time on our shows, right? Thinking like, oh, this is it. This is the mother of all content. And this is what's really going to make a big splash on the internet. But the thing is that you want to take that piece of content. This is what you want to do. You want to turn it into confetti. Yes. That way you could share it with all your friends. That means creating content on other places like Facebook, Instagram stories, LinkedIn stories, and the new thing, what was that? Twitter? Fleet? Anyone else on there? Absolutely. So, hey, everyone. As I said, I'm Stephanie Liu, a live video strategist. I help brands go from unknown to unforgettable by leveraging live video. So if you are a content creator, then this is the show for you. Now, what I want to share with you today, the first repurposing trick for you today is to learn about a new platform called Descript. How many of you are actually repurposing your content by yourselves, right? I know I do. In fact, I've actually been very lucky in the sense that I have been able, I've been able to hire a team, a virtual assistant and an executive assistant that takes all of the live shows that I produce and instantly create it into stories and audiograms and all of that stuff that we're going to talk about later on today. So shout out to Dean Reynolds Media. So wonderful to have you here. I am very thankful to have Activate LA and the whole YouTube audience here. Appreciate you all. All right, so break out your notebooks if you don't have them already, because we're going to jump right in. And the first thing that I want to share with you today is a program called Descript. And the reason why I want to share this with you is because when I'm creating content, when I'm creating content, I used to have to hop from one platform to the other. In fact, actually, let me back up a bit. Whenever I would create content, I would download it directly from Restream, and then I would have to put it into Otter.ai in order for it to get transcribed. Once my VA goes in there and edits the content, then I have to download the audio file and go over into Headliner to create the audiogram. Now, if you were watching the intro, when you saw the music playing and you saw like the wavelengths, that's an audiogram. That's an example. And so that was like a lot of different platforms that she had to hop to. And this is why I absolutely love Descript. So let's make this full screen. That way you could go ahead and take a look at it. And if you're here, go ahead and say hi. Mike Alton is here. Absolutely appreciate you, friend. Okay, so here we go. This is called Descript, and it's a program that you can actually download to your computer. And if you have a team, an intern, a VA, or whoever, they can collaborate with you on this. So even if you're not a live streamer, let's say you're a podcaster, this is a multi-purpose program to really help you repurpose your content. See, the thing about this is that you just drag and drop your audio file or your videos, and it will automatically transcribe the file. What's really exciting about this is that you can share this content, right? So you could share your Descript program with virtually anyone on your team. But I would say like the biggest game changer for me is the fact that when you are editing the script, right? When you're editing the script, if there's a lot of filler words, like who's guilty of using filler words like ers, ums, ahs, you know? Well, when you're actually in Descript, there's a one-click button that you can use that will automatically get rid of all of those filler words. And not only that, but when you cut out a specific word, it will edit the video for you at the same time. So if you're one of those people that likes to use jump cuts, right? You go into like your hook, your tease, and then boom, straight into the content. You could actually do all of that in here. Listen, friends, I'm telling you that this is an absolute game changer, an absolute time saver as well. Shout out to Jenny, who is here. Thank you so much for joining us. Vladimir, you are back for another show. I absolutely appreciate you. Sue-Ann, I know that you're going to love this because you are a huge content creator yourself. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at this. So as you notice here, there's other things that you can do. Even if you are, let's say, speaking at a virtual summit, if you are a virtual keynote speaker, you can do screen recording. How many of you guys are creating online courses? You could screen record from this, transcribe it. You could even have remote recording, which means that I could give access to my VA and she can record it at the same time. Podcasters, as I mentioned, you could use this for all of your podcasting. That means you could layer in your intros, your outros, whatever it is that you want to do, your sponsor shout outs, you could do that too, all within Descript. I'm telling you, it's like the transformer. It's like the transformer of the whole content creation process. So this is really like the foundation of how we are recreating content for our clients for Digital Confetti. Here's the other part. It's Overdub. This is, okay, I have to go on screen for this. Let me tell you about Overdub. Have you ever said something on camera or even during a podcast interview and you're like, oh no, wait, I totally messed up. I shouldn't have said that. Well, with Overdub, what you can do is you can type in what you actually wanted to say and it will auto-generate the audio for you. That's insane. I absolutely love that. Yes, Anya, it makes it so easy. This is one of those paid subscriptions where I'm like, yes, please take my money because you make my life so much easier. Again, I don't have to hop from like one platform to the other. It does it all for me. Yes, Mike, content marketing Voltron, I am absolutely about that. Let's do that. All right, so going back over to this. Again, we talked about filler words. You could get rid of your filler words. You could share I could collaborate with my team. I could publish this. So even with my clients, I'll say, here is a link. You could take a preview. You could see everything that's in the transcript before actually publishing it and putting it onto YouTube, right? You could create audiograms and subtitles. Now, when we say subtitles, subtitles are like the text overlays that you normally see in a video. Now, we know that most people, whenever they're watching video, right, they might not always have the sound on. We also have our viewers that may be hard of hearing, and we want to make our content accessible, right? Make your content accessible, and Descript allows you to do that. Now, if you guys have any questions about Descript so far, please go ahead and drop them in the comments. Right now, I'm giving you a high-level overview, and then I'm going to show you behind the scenes, okay? Mike is saying that that sounds like a terrific way to correct mistakes, even from guest speakers. Yes. Let's say, oh my goodness, how about this? Have you ever tried to introduce a guest on a podcast or on a live stream, and then you may have flubbed on their last name? Well, this gives you an opportunity to instantly fix that. It's brilliant. Now, so we're looking at Descript, and it works just like a Word doc. So you could do transcription, screen recorder, publishing, full multi-tracks editing, and some mind-bendingly useful AI tools. I need to use mind-bendingly. So having said that, let me go ahead and give you a little behind the scenes of how this works. Let's go ahead and stop sharing this. And I'm going to show you the actual application. So usually when I'm working in Descript, we'll turn this on. Usually when I'm working in Descript, this is what's going to happen. So you start off with an untitled composition. And one thing that I'm going to do is I was promoting a holiday gift guide for live streamers yesterday. And one of my good friends, Zaylee Barclay, she had some really cool stuff to share. She was like, hey, here are a couple of tips, things that you might want to consider as like stocking stuffers for your favorite content creators. And so what I want to do is I want to take her amazing video. Let's find it. Zay, where are you? There's pro interview tips. Here she is. So I'm just going to drag and drop this into Descript. So you'll notice here that it's going to start processing the video. Now, when it's going to transcribe the file, you could say detect speakers, because when you are actually creating your SRT file, your transcript, you guys know this, you're smart. You can actually have your speaker names on there or not. In this particular case, I'm just going to say that there's one speaker, automatically transcribe, and click on transcribe. Now, this usually takes, gosh, maybe like 3 minutes or so. And that's actually a lot faster versus if I tried to send this to like rev.com or any other human processing transcribing stuff, right? Shout out to the LinkedIn crew. I absolutely appreciate you being here. Oh, Liz Johnson, she says, I use Descript creating subtitles. Very cool to see all the other things that you can do. Yes, it's a powerful, powerful platform. And there's just so many wonderful things that you can do, which is why I love it. Now, so as it's going in here and it's transcribing the file, you'll notice that it's going to give you a heads up. Like, okay, you're at 67% so far. And I love this because as it's doing that, I can take a look at her video and you have the actual, like, it's kind of like a WAV file. And you could see if there's going to be any interruptions. Like I could preview in here because sometimes when people send me videos, they might not have fully edited. They're like, Stephanie, I'm just going to send over the raw file for you. And usually when they do that, they'll like clap to notify like, that's where you need to cut it. But in this particular case, Zaylee's a pro. So I don't have to worry about not editing it because she'll do that for me. So as you notice right here, it's already transcribed. Me describing to you to the process, it's already done. So let's go through this. There are two things that I want you to know. First, there's edit media, and then there's correct text, okay? Edit media, if you're in that particular mode, let's play this for you. So let's say it says, and I want to know that you guys can hear this.
Hey guys, it is Zaylee Barclay of ZayleeBarclay.com. I am the creator of the Start, Shoot, Grow Video Academy over at StartShootGrow.com. And today I want to share.
Okay, so let's say, for example, I wanted to clip that part, right? Let's say I wanted just to take out the beginning of her actually saying her name, because when I publish this on Instagram, people are already going to know who she is, right? So what I can do is under edit media, I can go in here and I could just take this out and say, and just go into today I want to share. So I just highlight this and backspace. Boom. Now I've already done that. Notice how the transcript is already updated, but now when I actually play the video, this is what's going to happen.
Today, I want to share, I wish I could share one thing, but I got to share 3 things that are.
So that means that it will automatically clip the video. So for those of you, when you are doing an interview, when you're doing a show and you might have used some filler words, you could cut that out automatically, right? Here's the other fun thing that I could do with this is that, let's say she gave me 3 tips that she loves as far as live streaming. What I can do is, see, look, she even mentions restream. So I could go and I could highlight this and then clip this into a new composition. And then I already have another piece of content that I can repurpose. So think about your live videos that you have out there, whether it's 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, just take out little chunks of pieces that you want to have as like little sound bites that you could just sprinkle everywhere. If you guys are finding this interesting, please let me know. Be like, oh my gosh. Shout out to Dr. Ello. I hope I said your name right. He says, this is so great and so easy. Yes, right? There's so much things that you could do. So, and that's only just the first part. So that is editing the media. You could clip sentences, sound bites into new compositions. You could take out the beginnings. You could add in tracks. Now, the other thing that I wanted to show you is that you can correct text. So let me go ahead and undo this, right? Let's go ahead and undo the changes that we made. That was a simple Control Z. I don't know if you just saw it, but I just Control Z. That's something that I didn't have when I was editing other videos, because once I clipped it and I deleted it, it's like, oh, it disappears. No, what happens is that your content doesn't blow up on you. Like if you accidentally deleted it, you could always go back and reinsert it back in, because Descript will always keep the raw copy for you. That's amazing, right? So that was edit media. The other one is correct text. So as we already know, they spelled my girl's name wrong. So here's what I want to do. I just want to go in here and then we're just going to change the name. We're going to edit this text. So that way it says capital XAY, Zaley Barkley of, and they got her website wrong too, of ZaleyBarkley.com. For those of you that are creating subtitles, subtitles and captions for your show, right? This is what you do. When you're done with this, these are all the amazing things that you can do. When you export this, you could export the subtitles. So you have your SRT files, right? Or if I wanted to send this over to my executive assistant, I could say, hey, I want you to export this as text and turn this into a blog post. Ah, I absolutely love that, right? Because what's more fun than a blog post that has an audiogram in there or little short bits of video? You can absolutely do that. So we've talked about how to export the subtitles and the text. Now let's talk about something else that I haven't even told you. Let's talk about audiograms. So look how it will automatically take the text. It's kind of like a sing-along karaoke at this point. What you could do is you could include or hide the composition title or leave that in there. You could show the speaker label, again, if you want to keep the name in there or not. You could change the accent color. So let's say for me, Digital Confetti, that's probably going to be the color that I'm going to use. You could change the background image. You could include a logo. They call it a badge, but really it's a logo. And there's different styles, friends. There's different styles that you can do this. I personally like this style right here, the karaoke, or you could do this one. You guys let me know which ones you like the best, because I think there are different ways that you can have fun with this, right? Yes, Britt Nelson is saying this is super cool, a game changer in reaching your audience while looking super professional. I absolutely agree, right? Think of all the different ways that you could repurpose this content into the Instagram feed, into the Instagram stories, and it looks different. There are different things when you're talking to someone like your guest, and you could just break out your interview questions into individual posts. Anya saying that this is so great to see how easy repurposing can be. No need for an army of helpers to get the most out of your live stream. 100% agree. So that's another style. This is my favorite too. I really like waveforms. And the reason for that is because when you have these waveforms, it's an opportunity where it just it stands out in the newsfeed. If you think about the content that's going to be in your Facebook newsfeed, for example, the whole background of Facebook is white. And so if you were to change something like the other image that we had where it was like the pink circle and then it was like thumping, that's sick. I absolutely love that. And remember, even when you're creating these audiograms, you could put your intro music, your outro music, and have fun with it. Okay? Jenny Randall is saying, this is insane. And you can export that timeline into editing. So yes, you can. Yes. Jenny, you're all like already ahead of me, but I love it. Okay. So going back to this, you have your different designs. Hey, let's say you want to switch it up. You want to have a darker background. You can do that as well. Now, for my podcasting friends, this is where I was telling you, like you can have your audio, right? It's super cool. Then let's do video. I'm going to, let's say, allow comments. And the reason why I generally do that is because sometimes when I'm sending things over to a client, I want to get their feedback, right? I want them to share with me like, can we clip this part out? Or this could be like another portion that we want to have out there, okay? The other thing that I can do with this is, if this was like a podcast episode, I could actually cut this out. So Control X, right? Let's take this. We're going to cut. And then let's say I put it here. Let's say I'll take this out and I'll cut that and I'll insert it here. So now when we're watching the video, it goes.
Streaming, the first one is Ecamm Live. I absolutely.
Let me play this from the beginning.
Can't do without when it comes to live streaming. The first one is.
And it moves it around for you. So it's really interesting in that sense. Okay. Here's something else that I want to share with you about this is that let's go into media. Now, oh, Caleb's back. Hey, Caleb. Helpful if you're good at speaking, but struggle with typing. Yes. And we have Nick. Nick is saying, whoa, never heard of Descript. Looks amazing. Just checked out their promo video. It's fun, isn't it? They did a great job with that promo video. So Zaylee is an absolute pro whenever she comes to speaking, but this is the shortcut that I wanted to share with you. If you wanted to remove filler words, just remove filler words. And then on the left-hand side, if you notice over here, it's going to give you all of the instances where that may be a filler word. Generally, when I'm doing this, I like to just play it first to see like, is it an actual filler word or is it like a natural transition into it? But if it really is a filler word, then you just go ahead and delete without affecting the video. That means like it will still say the in the video, but it won't appear in the transcript. But if you want it out of the video, then leave that unchecked. You click on apply to all, and you'll notice here is that now Descript is showing me like, hey, there's a filler word that used to be right here. And so if you want to bring that back, all I really have to do is I can move this any which way that I want, and then it's going to pop up again. Okay? I'm going to take a look at the comments and see what you guys are thinking about this so far. Caleb, I'm so happy to see you here. There was another question. Oh, Jenny was asking, are there any editing capacities for additional graphic overlays? That's a really good question, Jenny. Like, can you change the background if you wanted to? Yes. So going back into here, if I wanted to export, you could go over to publish and you could go into Audiogram and then just choose your background image, right? The other thing that's cool about this, because most of you, I'm pretty sure, have experience with Final Cut Pro, Adobe Audition, and Adobe Premiere. So that's your opportunity to really kind of go in there and put it into your platform of choice if you wanted to, right? If you wanted to do that, then you absolutely can. Sorry, I was keeping an eye on the comments. All right. So those are the fun things that you can absolutely do. And now what I want to do is I want to go back over here. So I'm going to go into my other compositions. That's Zaylee, right? I'm going to need this for when I'm going to publish this on social media. So other things that I can do is that I could actually go into the timeline. You could scroll or just jump to the word. Like, how amazing is that? You could actually just jump to the word without having to like move across the actual timeline itself. Now, what I do is that if she's going to say, thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much. And I will see you around the internet.
Right. Beautiful laugh. Now, what I can do is I actually have my Stream Deck. How many of you actually have Stream Deck? I have set up my Stream Deck so that way all of my shortcut keys for editing these videos are simple. So now I just click on split, and now the split appears in Descript. So I could clip off this part, don't even have to worry about it. Done and done. Dr. Ello is saying, I'm wondering if Descript works for Spanish speakers too. Dr. Ello, you'll have to check their FAQs. I don't recall, but definitely check that out. Shout out to Don, who also has a Stream Deck, because yes, it's absolutely amazing. So now, knowing that I've went ahead and I edited the copy. Actually, let me go back here because her website is startshootgrow.com. Let me fix this for her. I think my computer is like thinking right now. It's like, do you really want to make that change? Yes, I do. Let's go here. Let's go into correct text. And we'll do that. Okay. So other things that I want to show you is that if you wanted to, you could click on this gear icon and shorten the word gaps. Let me show you. Let me explain what that means. Sometimes when I'm doing a podcast episode and let's say a garbage truck comes by, I'll just pause and wait for it to pass by. Well, the shorten word gaps will automatically say, hey, there's like a 10-second gap from this last sentence to the next one. So do you just want me to shorten that into 1 second? I'm like, yes, can you please do that for me? Because manually having to do that in Final Cut Pro is a big pain. So Descript will automatically do that for you. Yes, Mike, you can use Stream Deck for editing shortcuts. Oh, wait. Someone, where is it? Who just said that they were throwing confetti in the air? Oh, Don, yes. Right? Yes, absolutely. So much fun. Okay. So here's the other part is that let's say I want to add the text overlay on top of this. What you can do is go down here and they call it Fancy Captions. So we're going to add Fancy Captions. And these Fancy Captions, I actually want to start off at the very beginning. So we're going to put that right there. Actually, let's put this right here. Fancy Captions. Okay. Oh, why are you stuck there? Take this out. Delete track, and go over here. Thank you. Now we are going to add the Fancy Captions. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so notice here, hopefully you can see it, but when I start playing this, on that right-hand side where you see Zaylee and there's like a purple rectangle, as soon as I hit play,
hey guys,
you're going to see, oh my gosh, that's amazing. You're going to see the text overlay already in there. This is your opportunity to go into the clip properties. You could choose what you want your font size to be. So let's say it's going to be Josephine Sands, and I want the font size to be a little bit bigger. I can make it bigger. I can make it smaller. I could even add a background to it. I could choose the colors that I want for the actual show. And there it is. Now it will actually export the video with the text overlays. You guys seeing this? It's ELO. ELO. Thank you, ELO. Okay, so that's fancy captions. So you want to add captions, text overlays on top of that. Other things that you can do is that if you wanted to add a title, you can add a title at the very beginning of it as well. You can even add shapes. So let's say when you're doing something in your live stream and you're saying like, hey, look over here, you could actually add another track where it shows a rectangle, an arrow, whatever it is to really call out what it is that you want them to learn. Good? All right. The other thing that I like about Descript is that when I send this over to my team, it's so easy. Honestly, you click on share and then you could invite members of your team. So you invite them into the drive and then they could make any edits that you want. So having said that, what I can do is I can go in here and I could insert a comment. Let's go back over here. Descript is like, you're doing so much right now. Exit. Okay, let's say I put over here and I want to put in a comment. This is where it's going to have my initials, Stephanie Lou, and I say, hey, can you make sure that her name is spelled correctly? Or can you make the website a text overlay? All of that stuff, and then my assistant, my EA, they will know all the different things that they can do. Caleb is saying that's an enormous benefit regarding to change font type. Font size saves a lot of work. Yes, again, remember when I was doing this, I had to take it from otter.ai, put it over into Headliner, and it was a lot of moving steps. And in all of this, it has all of the content that you want to repurpose. You could have your collaborations in with your team, and it makes it really, really helpful. Good. All right. So let's go back over here. So I could post this message here, and I know that my team is going to go ahead and do that. Now, if you didn't realize this, but it actually says I could tag people in here. So I could enter an email address. I could put in at my VA's name, and then she'll take care of it. All right, fun. All right, what questions do you have about Descript so far? Because right now, all of this is amazing. In fact, let's actually go back to, let me see if I could go back to the window where it was published. Oh, it's gone already. Okay, here's something that I did before that's already edited. So you could see here at the very bottom, it's like I'm cutting certain things out of this. I have the text overlay that's going to be there, and I could export all of the content, and it's going to live here. Generally, when I'm working with the content that I have for my clients, what I do is I actually have separate project folders. So I have a project folder for Digital Confetti, for Lights, Camera, Live, and then all the other clients that I have. Knowing that, it's a lot easier for my team and I to find where the content is going to be. We also have a very specific naming convention in the sense of like, here's the original raw file, and here are the clips that go along with it that you could go ahead and repurpose out there. All right, someone was asking me a question about resizing. Let me go and see. That was Jenny. Jenny's saying, will this export into different video sizes? For example, like a square 1x1 on InstaFeed or a 9x16 Instagram stories. No, it doesn't. And I wish that it had that capability. But again, Jenny, if you already have like Final Cut Pro or any of the other video editing software, you could take this file and import it into there if you already have your template. So that to me is like already a game changer. What I do wish is that when it publishes it, if they could connect to a social media scheduling platform, like let's say Agora Pulse, that would be amazing, because then now it just makes the shortcut from beginning to end with all of that stuff. Caleb says, I never knew this software existed, but I'll definitely look it up. Very innovative. Yes, it's something that, like I said, I don't mind spending what I spend on this. In fact, let's go back and let's take a look at the pricing model for this. That way we could answer some of your questions about that. So let's go into the Chrome tab. Let's go into Descript. Okay, let's talk about pricing. Do I have this on here? Let's share this. Boop. There you go. All right, so let's talk about pricing. There are different plans that you can have. There's free. So free gives you screen recording and limited editing. So you could record, edit 20 screen recordings. So for those of you that use Loom, right, you could use Loom if you want to, or Descript will take care of that for you too, which makes it so much fun. For $0 one time, you get 3 hours of transcription. So if you want to give this a shot, definitely go ahead and give this a shot. In fact, let me show you this. It's Descript.com, collaborative audio and video editor. Okay. Then there's Creator. Creator is everything that's in free, unlimited projects, unlimited screen recordings, 10 hours of transcription, timeline export, and so on. What I actually have is the Pro. And the reason for that, oh, I didn't even tell you about this, is the Overdub. Okay, this is the part that's going to be crazy. Let's go back over into Descript. Let's go back over here. I'm going to show you something crazy. We're going to create a new composition, and let's say, welcome to Digital Confetti. I could type in what I want it to say. I want to make sure that you could see me. There it is. Let's make this bigger. Okay, so welcome to Digital Confetti. And I want to say, hi, I'm Stephanie Liu. I'm just going to spell my name L-O-O for now. Stephanie Liu. Welcome to Digital Confetti. Pay attention, because right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this actually, I'm going to make Descript say this for me. It was Toto that made, and now it's going to generate the overdub, which means it's going to say exactly what I just typed. Okay. So now it's already in there, and let's hit play and let's hear if it actually sounds like me. Hi, I'm Stephanie Liu. Welcome to Digital Confetti. Did you hear that? Oh my gosh. Did you hear that? Okay, let me do this where we're side by side. So let's say, here's another one. So Annette McDonald is saying, does anyone use the Stream Deck app? Let's just say, does anyone use the Stream Deck app? Just typed it in. Now it's going to generate the overdub. Caleb is saying like, oh, wow. Yes. So it's going to generate the overdub. You could change the things. Mike says, oh, snap. All right. So this is what Annette just said, but it'll be in my voice because I taught Descript how to sound like me. There you go. Does anyone use the Stream Deck app? Does anyone use the Stream Deck app? Isn't that insane? So that means on days where, you know, maybe you're sick, or maybe you're just like, oh gosh, I really wish I didn't say that. You could go into Descript and you could delete the word and then insert another line and say, no, I want it to actually say this. That's what the overdub feature is. That's why I'm on the other plan. So the other plan is Pro, $24 a month. Caleb is saying they have text-to-speech on Windows, but it's very low quality. This is significant. Anna's saying this is wild. Yeah. Here's the thing is that I do a lot of podcasting for, let me change this real quick. So I do a lot of podcasting, and sometimes I have to like read a script or read a chapter. Before, when I was doing my editing, like in ScreenFlow or Final Cut Pro, I would read a sentence and then have to clap to show the spike, right? So I know where to clip it at. Well, I'll just read it, and then if I didn't nail it again, I'll just read it again, and then I could go back into the transcript, into Descript, and say, hey, Stephanie, you said that twice. I know that if you said that twice, the second version is probably the right one. So as I'm going through the actual recording itself, I just highlight that paragraph and delete it. I am laughing right now because Mike Alton just said this is going to be a new level of blooper videos. Yes. So imagine that you could actually take all of your bloopers, highlight it, clip into a new composition, right? Take your next video that has a blooper, copy that blooper part, and then clip it into the blooper composition. And then it's just like boop, 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 boop. And now you have a blooper reel that you could have at the end of your videos or just something fun and exciting. All right, I'm going to take a look at the questions to see who else has something to say. Okay. I love Dawn McCoy where she's saying that she's storing confetti. Yes. Okay. So there's a lot of things that you can do with Descript. And it's one of those apps that I use consistently. It's something that not a day goes by that I'm not in there. Or if I'm on a show, like earlier this morning, I was with Anya and I was like, Anya, can you send me the recording from this morning's show? And then I could just go in there, drop it in here, send an email over to my VA and say like, hey, can you get like the sound bites that were really, really amazing? And then just clip it and then make as, let's say, 3 to 4 video clips that I could then add into Twitter and just kind of like shuffle it and repeat. In fact, let me show you a little bit of something. Shout out to the homegirl, Kendra Lossie, who's just like, I'm going to be really happy. I just signed up for Descript. Yes, yes. You want to watch this video, the one that I just showed you on how to do all of this stuff. Let me go back real quick because what I want to show you is you've already seen Overdub, right? If I wanted to add in music, so Dean Reynolds Media, I know that you're paying attention right now. I want to add in an audio recording. One second, no, I don't want to add an audio recording. What I want to do is I want to add in a voice file. Okay, it says voice file, but really it's an audio file at this point. So what I want to do is that when I was preparing for this show, there was a song that I added in here. So now I add in the intro music. What's going to happen is that Descript is going to add it on here as an extra layer. I don't need it to be transcribed, right? So don't do that. But it's adding it over here. But what I want to do here, actually, let me take this out. No. Double click, delete. What I want to do is I want to add a track. Correction, I wanted to add a track. So I'm going to add the music that I downloaded from Soundstripe. And now it's going to be at the very beginning. But Dean, check this out. I could actually slide it over to where it is that I want to be in the actual show. I'm going to look at the comments to see if you're following along with this. Okay, so now if I were to play this, again, this is the overdub with the intro music. Hi, I'm Stephanie Liu. Welcome to Digital Confetti. Does anyone use the Stream Deck app? I'm like legit geeking out because I'm like, you guys, this is so much fun. Because now I'm like speechless at this point because I think it's just so much fun to use. Annette is asking, how long does it take to train Descript? Oh, for the overdub. Okay, let me pull this up for you. Descript overdub. Let me wait for this to load and then I will. Let's go back because that's not what I wanted. So what happens when you're using Overdub, Annette, here, let me change this because I want to share with you my tab. Okay, so when you're doing Overdub, there's a couple of things that you have to do. First one is setting up your Overdub voice. And when you do that, there's a script that you have to read. So when you're in actual Descript, you're going to say, hey, I want to create a new overdub. So you could have a voice for you, Annette, or if you wanted to have a separate voice, that was Stephanie or Mike Alton or Kendra or Dean, whatever it is. What happens is that when you get started, you're going to record it live, and then they're going to give you a script that you have to read. And when you're reading the script, what's happening is that, oh, I wasn't even sharing. What happens is that when you're in Descript, they're going to give you a story to read or a script to read. And then what happens is is the AI is going to recognize your voice and your speech patterns. And so that's what happens. Okay. And as far as how long that actually takes, okay. If I remember correctly, Annette, there is like a 5-minute script and then a 10-minute script and longer scripts that you can do. As soon as you're done recording, let's say the 5 or the 10-minute script, it takes about 24 hours for them to create your voice. Now, I have different personalities for overdubs. I have one where I'm just like, I'm reading it in a professional manner, like let's say a regular voiceover that I would do for radio or for commercials. Then there's one where I'm like really excited, right? Because I want Descript to capture that energy and that excitement when I'm creating my content. So Caleb's saying, I would expect it to take a while. It takes about 24 hours. You do get an email as soon as it's done. And then, like I said, you go in there, you type in what it is that you want to. So Annette, you want to say, hey, here's a new cool feature in Easel, right? You type it in there, do whatever it is that you want to do, click on Overdub, and then boom, here's a special announcement from Annette if you wanted to do that. All right. If you have any other questions about Descript, please go ahead and let me know. I'm going to give you an example of all the different ways that I've actually done this. So we're going to go over to Instagram.com/HeyStephanieLou and show you how we do this. So this one is the launch strategy that made a #1 bestseller. So this is with my co-authors, Jen Herman and Mike Alton, and basically did this all in Descript. And it has like, it'll actually play the video here. I don't think you'll actually be able to hear it, but you can see that it's just playing the content at the very bottom and it's good to go. Here's the other one where we're talking about the audiogram. I just have like a WAV file that goes on. Yeah. So everyone, that is Descript, and those are all of the different ways that you can repurpose this. So one thing that I want to share with you too is that when you're creating the file, again, you could export the text file into a Word doc, send that over to your team, Mike Alton, turn that into a blog post, boom, you're ready to go. Turn it into a 1-minute video clip. You saw me how I did that. You take a whole long video, highlight the parts that you want to clip into a new composition, right? That's new content for you. Then you could turn it into something like this, where you have an audiogram. And those that are just scrolling through their newsfeed now see a different piece of content. And again, Jenny, remember, you could do all the different designs here. So you could have this one, or you could have the one where it's like pulsing. You could have a dark background, all of the great stuff. Yes, Caleb is saying no audio, but text is helpful. Yes, and that's what I wanted to do. I just wanted you to see the karaoke style. Yay! I'm checking to see if there's any other. Yes, Don, Descript is a game changer. Now, here's the thing, friends, is that I honestly don't know if there's going to be a Black Friday sale. So let's all pay attention to each other. Just be like, hey, Descript is having Descript is having a sale. Let's all jump in there and take advantage of it. I think that's a great thing to do. One of the things that I want to mention too is, Annette, if you are going to have your team learn Descript, Descript does have, I think it's a Slack channel and a Facebook group where if you have questions, then you could jump in there and ask questions. Someone earlier asked about other languages like Spanish. I do recall someone asking about Spanish in the Facebook group, so that's going to be an opportunity for you. And it's saying is that these would be great to use on Instagram and then compile into guides. Yes. And think about, let's say Instagram story ads. You just want to type out the copy. This is how it's going to sound like. Then it makes it a ton of fun. Great. Wait, Marie said, I want to be in the know about any Black Friday sales on tech too. I think we all do. I will honestly tell you that majority of the repurposing content tools that I use, I keep an eye out on Black Friday and Cyber Monday to see if like anything is out there. right, so having said that, friends, my name is Stephanie Liu, and I'm a live video strategist. Thank you so much for tuning into the very, very first episode of Digital Confetti. I hope you absolutely enjoyed it. I will be back on air, not on Black Friday, but the Friday after that, which I believe is Friday, December 4th. If I'm right, let me double check. Friday, December 4th. Yes, Friday, December 4th. And I'll teach you something else about how to repurpose your content. Now, if you loved Descript, go ahead and let me know in the comments. Feel free to find me on social media. You could always connect with me there. And big shout out to Restream for powering today's show. You could go over to Restream/Hey Stephanie to learn all about Restream and learn how you could go live on multiple platforms. And so having said that, shout out to the crew, Marie Tahan Daniels, Caleb, Don McCoy, Sue, Anna, and Mike, Dean. You guys, you've been absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for being here for the very, very first episode of Digital Confetti. And I will see you next time. Take care, everyone. Bye for now.